Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. Can you believe this? The audacity that we are seeing here? Alright, we're turning this ship around. We're gonna go and re-clear these pirates. Actually, how long until Zane's is Alright, Zane's is gonna be a colony next turn. So we're gonna stop off at Zane's, refill the manpower in our fleet. Yeah, I didn't even really spend that much. I guess we don't have to. Yeah, we'll just head right back. It only took 21% of our fleet's maximum manpower to bring the pirates down last time. It shouldn't be too much harder. It may be not any harder at all, actually, to get them again. We'll have Zane's online next turn, which is great. And let's just reassess the situation here a little bit, because I was a little out of it by the end of last episode. Recording awfully late at night, and just want to make sure I'm not doing anything crazy. So, we have... the green fertility bill is fantastic for us, I remember that. We definitely don't want to run cool copies, we can't afford to. I cut the Cram Exam Act because we were having approval problems. Are we still in that place? It would lower approval on this system by 12%, bringing us to an amount that I believe is still content. I think it is currently the case that the Cram Exam Act has no downside, right? And we figured out last time that things that give extra resource output per citizen are unusually valuable for us due to the way the Craver population and our affinity interact. So yeah, let's put this back on. Yeah, nothing, no big changes. It's just free science. Also, what is going on here with the population? So, here's an interesting idea. Or maybe not an interesting idea. Here's something I just thought about. It is still the case that population, minor faction population on a depleted planet gets the double resource output as long as they are accompanied by a Craver, right? So Cravers are slightly better at resource output than than our minor faction population units, as long as we're on a depleted, a non-depleted planet. The moment the planet becomes depleted, the Cravers are producing considerably less. So I guess there's a way to play this where you are just moving your Craver fleet from system to system constantly, taking new stuff, burning it out quickly, and then moving to the next one. But there's another way to play this where you end up with more minor faction population than Craver population, and each of your planets, once depleted, just has a single Craver for the purpose of buffing the minor factions. Sort of, a bishop, just leading the minor factions. And that's the way I am choosing to express that. I guess putting the minor faction population, putting several points of minor faction population under the control of one Craver point on each of your worlds is going to generate a huge amount of unhappiness. So I suppose that's a good reason not to do things that way. But for right now, I think we can leave it like this. And it looks like this planet being depleted produces only 50% of its original Fidzy resource income. It still shows the normal values here. I guess these aren't going to change, but I will assume that it is correct. Right, would that be difficult to calculate? So let's see. If we moved, we're producing one science here, right? Per population. If we move this guy off of here, we gained 24 science. So we would expect to see a gain of 14 from this guy, and then him being doubled due to the affinity. So why did I gain 24? I'm actually really not sure. Yeah, it sure was 24. Huh. It's certainly more than I was expecting. Oh, he was probably producing halved income from other boosters too, right? This is the same thing that had me a little confused for a moment last episode. It's probably population points on this planet are producing 50% of their resource outputs rather than having the actual planet contribution Because that seems to be the way that everything else works too, right? So the difference between these citizens being on the depleted planet and being on a non-depleted planet is actually very significant. Although them being on the planet with the Cravers makes them absolutely miserable, in addition to the fact that that's more population in the Acid Rain. Still, as long as we stay over content, it's kind of all the same. So yeah, you get to live there for now. It's nice to have more than one planet available in the system so that you can easily move stuff around. Okay, somebody else, one player got all 5 of the atmospheric curiosities and locked us all out of the rewards, which is fine, because honestly they're pretty minimal. Alright, over here in Zanes, we got this extremely healthy planet for the moment. We have a specialization that I don't particularly want to put into effect here. So it's a single hot, non-temperate planet, which makes xeno-industrial infrastructure considerably less exciting. I think we're probably going to go drone networks into sustainable farms. Try to get population rolling here. The academy was discovered somewhere far away that I do not care about. Alright, we finished research on the ability to do the system development here, and I think we're going to go for Red Sang, like I was saying. It's just a flat 60 food on the system. It gets your growth going really, really quickly. I don't think Dark Glitter is very good. We will be bringing in Blue Cap Mold at some point, but I think this early in the game, a flat food bonus is way better than a flat science bonus. I mean, I wouldn't say no to either of them, though. Like, to be clear, not saying that that science bonus is bad. So, we really don't need it here. I'm gonna do it on Zane's. Population on this planet is producing a considerable amount of industry, so we can get a lot of industry just by increasing the amount of food we have available here. Alright, you're heading back over there. There is going to be a new fleet appearing next turn. We'll probably try to wait for them to move away before we land. Before we hit Atmo. Okay, a little bit of antimatter and a quest. Send a fleet to this quest marker. Yeah, okay. I'm down. There's a pretty good chance that this quest ends with us losing this fleet, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly. That'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. What have we over here on Kurha? What we have over here on Kurha is a very interesting system. Well, let's hit the ruins first. We're going to have to be thoughtful about our settling. It's likely that we're going to end up in combat with the Lumeris sooner or later, because I'm going to attack them. To be clear, where I'm placing the blame for that, it's me. I'm going to attack them. So, forward settling on them aggressively could be valuable, give us a nice staging ground. My only concern about doing that is that they might interpret it as aggression, which it is, and then attack us before we are ready. I would really like to be the one who sets the pace of the war, you know? Yep, you're probably just staying right there to finish searching that. We're going to have to think about our next settle. It's not probably a good idea for us to be on 2 systems for very much longer. Oh, sure, we should be researching. That's a good point, game. So we don't actually have, currently, an antimatter or adamantian settlement, but we could, right? Where's the, It's on this ash world? It's not a bad world, honestly. Yeah, this system's compelling. Maybe we're going to take over VIRGO. So if we do that, we want neural robotics. Industrial zones is cool, and remember, it seems that it may be more effective for us than it is for others. because those points of industry will be affected by our bonuses. Actually, that makes maximized exploitation potentially really interesting as well. We are colonizing... Okay, we're not actually colonizing any lava worlds yet. In this system, we'd want to set down on the Ash world. I think we already have the Ash colonization. For the moment, we can colonize any planet, remember, but we will take a resource penalty if we don't have the right tech to actually live there, so I want to make sure we get those techs. We do want access to the market as well. This would be a 7-turn research. It's really not that bad. Oh, I was headed toward evaporation inhibitors. That's right. This is really important, because we're totally on a desert world right now. And also, Endless Secrets is fun. And basic terraforming, also good. I think I underutilize it, but it is pretty valuable. Okay, with that, let us move. Well, we've been pirated. I decided to actually just attack, because I was thinking, you know what? At power level 2, I'm sure they're spawning a single small, and sure enough. So do we prefer to be at any particular range? Not really. I'm effective enough at short, and the intruder's great at short, so here, let's do this. Okay. So they have 450 manpower now. This is more defense than they had before, isn't it? It makes me think that we are less likely to get the easy clear. I still don't really want to spend a bunch of titanium and hyperium because we still are building up for that quest building. Maybe I do fall back and refill manpower. We stopped the pirate ship. That was probably worth doing. Just sitting here and trying to starve them out doesn't really make any sense. Let's go to full. We'll come back and try to take them out with full manpower. Obviously, over here... I was about to say, obviously, we're retreating. But actually, we have more offensive and defensive power than this guy does, so instead we will kill him. Probably. Did I... Okay. We didn't actually kill him. That's a surprise. For a second there, I thought I had accidentally hit retreat. But that's right, he moved because he had a queued up move order. Alright, so we have another world here. Another beautiful, irradiated, horrible world. So hold on. Now we can test with fewer multipliers in the way. Just trying to make sure that this is actually giving us the 50% fewer resources that I'm expecting. So this world has 2 science, this world has 9. I would expect to lose 1 and gain 9. So from 268 to 281. And we shouldn't currently have a multiplier on our science output, right? No, we totally do. Why do we have a percentage bonus? What is the thing I'm forgetting here? Because we're certainly not getting a modifier from this. We don't have... Where is this percentage bonus coming from? I'm sure it's obvious, but I'm totally spaced. Oh, the law, right? Green fertility bill. So plus 5% science. Still, these numbers don't quite add up the way I'm expecting. We're seeing a 13-point change. I'm missing something. I'm sure somebody will point it out in the comments. Or maybe I will have an epiphany and figure it out on my own. It doesn't super sound like me, but... I think I'm going to keep people working on Virac for now, for the food. Yeah, just continuing to try to produce population here. Once we have enough red saying to do this, we want to do it so that we have access to the spaceport more than for the food, because obviously we have a perfectly fine amount of food already. So I'm probably going to want to build this as soon as I can. Oh, it has no industry cost. So I guess I don't really have to factor that into anything. This is actually 10 approval here. It's also quite expensive. Is there anything more important I could build? We are going to need another colony ship. Yeah, if I'm going to take VIRGO, we should probably just build that ship now and get it out there. Actually, before we do that, let's take a quick look at the ship design. It does, in fact, have an extra engine slot. Let's do that. Cancel the old design, fire up the new one. No reason for these things to be slow. I guess, though, we're actually several turns off of this, aren't we? Because I have to go over to here. It's going to be 2 more turns of flight to get back to Zane's. We sit here for a turn at least to refill, then 2 more turns back. So actually, we don't need the pupa right now. We need the pupa in, like, 5 turns or something. I don't really want to build this here. We're going to have plenty of food here. This just doesn't seem good at all. This is worth having, probably. Yeah, the maximum population of this system is quite high. This is worth working on, too. This is powerful. It's going to delay the synchronous hive by a few turns, but it's also pretty good. What are our income levels? Are probably 3 and 3? Yeah. So this doesn't delay our synchronous hive by too many turns, and if we could get it, it would be really cool. Yeah, alright, work on this. We'll come back in and build the pupa when it's time. Okay, not bad. Another one of these, and the analytical engine, which is just a lot of free dust. What is the production cost of that? 780? Okay, very reasonable, actually. We don't want to delay this, because only one person can build this. We're on a race here, but the analytical engine is certainly good. It's something worth thinking about. One of the bishops overseeing the Craver swarm on Virac has just passed away, a frequent enough occurrence except for one thing. She was the last one. Bishops are critical to keeping a Craver population under control. You must quickly grow your Craver population to induce the mutation of a new bishop. So within 16 turns, reach 7 Cravers on Virac. Yep, not a problem. Also, the reward is actually, like, not super great. I kind of don't care about that. Alright. So we reached the quest marker, and we're actually totally good on titanium now. So this is the part where we could lose the fleet. But also, we'll get 150 dust. And we have the probes, right? We'll probably have a probe. Okay, Adamantian. This is certainly an interesting world. Ah, and this thing that gives us a technology. I can't understand why you would take Ignore. Like, the cost of this, 100 science spread out over 10 turns, is so incredibly low. I guess if you were really afraid of gaining scientist ideology for whatever reason, you're really trying to keep the scientists out of your senate. But yeah, I'll take a free technology in a little while. You've done what you need to do. You are waiting for another probe as well. Yeah, we might actually have to build some more ships. I don't know that we're going to be able to take VIRGO with its higher level of... Okay, they attacked me. I was trying to figure out if this was a new ship or the pirate ship we'd already wounded, and they attacked me before I could decide that I was definitely going to attack them. Turns out our scouts are pretty good. They do have 2 guns by default. Alright, there's your battle. So destroy those pirates to get even more titanium. I do wish that the resources we were gaining from these things were spread out a little bit better over the types. Yeah, with this being 2 ships, it seems unlikely that I would survive here. So do I want to run, or do I want to try this? How strong are they? 39, 127, and 79, 218. That accelerator is actually kind of a scary ship. They're both bullet weapon ships, which means we would be fighting them in their optimal range. Yeah, okay, run away. It's an interesting system, though. So now, the question, do I want to take blunt force trauma now? I'm thinking that there's actually not that many good things on the second tier, so probably we will end up taking all 3 of these skills anyway. And if that's the case, blunt force trauma now I think is worse than let's get XP on my fleet. The earlier you take that XP thing, the better. I probably should have taken it first, actually. Alright, yeah, so we will be at full manpower at the beginning of next turn. We'll head back over here, and hopefully we can kill them. We probably, after we get evaporation inhibitors, actually should pick up focused plasma, or those A2S slugs that I love so very, very much, because I think we're going to need them. Those and tanks. If we're going to take on the Lumeris, we're going to have to do better than just charging them with infantry. Even though we will be able to outnumber them, probably. Alright, these are both just subterranean, so whatever. Alright, Zanes should be growing pretty quickly. Alright. So, we're going to be outnumbered by the pirates, but we are much better fighters than they are, and we have access to bombardment while they don't. So I think we should probably still be able to kill them, even though we're going to be pretty outnumbered here. Superior tactics, you know? So that being the case, I think this is when we slip the pupa into the build order. I'm not going to use dust to rush it, because I'd rather use dust to rush stuff over here. Like, honestly, probably, no, you know what? Let's rush this. Let's rush the food thing. And then, probably, honestly, get colonization of this planet. That'll give us 2 more Red Sang. Whatever's in this subterranean node we'll have access to. It'll be another 10 food from sustainable farms. And then that'll make it more reasonable for us to build this other stuff that is planet dependent. Yep. Definitely not worth waiting for. So we're being attacked. Those pirates followed me. Well, that's unfortunate. Who is this? Okay. Horatio's up here. I mean, we had a sense that he was over here somewhere. Oh, he's expanding rapidly. Okay. A thing worth keeping an eye on, I suppose. So that scout ship, unfortunately, is dead. Not really a lot we can do about that. We discovered Giga Lattice. Well, you know, it's a higher tier resource, which is always nice. It's easier to get those higher tier system developments. And since we do not have the health to run away and survive, I'll at least fight here. We might do a little bit of damage before dying, whereas retreating gives us no damage, and then we die. Alright, let's drop on them. We're outnumbered pretty badly, but preemptive bombing is big, and we're much, much better 1-to-1 than they are. Yeah, we dealt quite a bit more damage than they did there. And it's going to continue to work that way. So, I think... let's run you up here in 4 turns. That should be plenty of time for us to get that settled. Next turn, we'll quickly build the synchronous hive. Yeah, feeling alright about our position here. We're not really progressing toward war super quickly. Zane's will eventually be a pretty good producer, what with all the hot worlds, but it's not just yet. We probably should also take over the Hiroshima system, I guess. Okay, I am allowed to praise them now. Like, yeah, we could actually make friends now that we're no longer militarists in the government. Do I want to change things up and try to play a little bit more peacefully? I know that's sort of bucking what you come to the Cravers for, but that can be fun. Playing in a way that is not the obvious prescribed way. I don't know. We'll see what comes. We got some other stuff on our plate for the moment. Okay, yes, you did use your probes. Yep, we're getting it done. This seems like an extremely foolish thing to do, but I appreciate the XP. Alright, one more turn until we have our last probe over there. This is going to be done pretty soon. This is just a scout ship. I was a little worried. If it was a colony ship just waiting for VIRGO to become clear, then, you know, there was a chance that I would have needed to do something. Okay, so let's throw this in the queue here. We're mutinous. That's alright. This'll fix it. Success! As your drones finish the construction of the synchronous hive, your soldiers standing guard begin to twitch uncontrollably. Suddenly, all communication from the drones is cut off. Soldiers sent in to investigate the room lose contact. For hours, you can only wait. Eventually, they emerge, but they are not the same. Their eyes and chitinous armor glow with dust, and they are led by a resurrected virtual endless. It strides toward your gathered Craver forces, dust pouring from every inch of its body, and slowly swirling through them. Its arms wide, it shouts in a sonorous voice, "Warriors, we return to the hive." My voice is not sonorous, I apologize. So we got this, Rearian Seus. Boy, that's a name. We're going to have a look at this dude. Rearian leads your forces to the Infinite Factory, a massive structure hidden on a planet long forgotten by every other faction in the galaxy. The Craver forces crawl over each other as they approach the door, frantic to enter and consume the dust within. Rearian approaches the gate and raises a hand, but the gate doesn't budge. Rearian's powers have grown weak from years of slumber. It doesn't have the telekinetic power needed to simply fling the doors open. Should you get your soldiers to do the job, or would it be better to let Rearian come back when it's stronger? So we can search a quest curiosity on the factory system with a fleet of 200 manpower. We're just going to open the doors by brute force, which would give us the Endless Augmentation Factory. A higher manpower refill rate on fleets that have heroes attached. Faster health regen on heroes and on fleets that heroes are assigned to. Huh. Okay, it's a 40% manpower refill rate on the hero's ship itself, and then at the bottom also on the fleet the hero's assigned to. This is not really that good of a bonus, I don't think. Or we could search the quest curiosity with Rearian at level 9, just wait and come back, and we could get him a better ovipositor. Gross. Okay, the ovipositor is a factory. It's not a biological. Well, you know, maybe it is still biological. In any case, gross. Plus 30% defense capacity on systems. Well, I think this is actually less good than this is. So yeah, here's what we will do. Rayarian can be put to better use elsewhere in the Empire. Your soldiers can do this physical work. What is the use of having drones if you can't make them do crappy work? So we need to drop 200 manpower on this over here. We need a scout ship with 200 manpower backing it up. This fleet could do that. We could refit the hero ship to have drones on it. Or to have, what do you call it? Probes. Anyway, let's finish this. I think we're going to need one more. Yeah, maybe even 2, actually. Because we did 21 manpower worth of damage this time, and that was with our 36 guys. With fewer, we will do less, obviously. Alright, let's have a look at this weirdo. So he has 20% damage on his own ship, plus 1 industry per citizen on planets. Pretty good, actually. And the endless specific skills. Science for anomalies. Vision and movement for his fleet. Shield capacity. Upkeep reduction. Shield penetration. And finally... Wow, these are not great, actually. The manpower refill rate thing... okay, this does give maximum manpower stock. That's pretty good. I don't think refill rate is very interesting, but... extra stock is pretty great. And then, again, he's just like... Guardians make great commanders, that's for sure. The thing is, if we were going to make this guy a commander, it's going to be a while before we have 2 functional fleets, right? Maybe he should become a governor then? He doesn't have that many governor-relevant skills, but the ones he has are pretty good. Oh, it's hard to imagine... Yeah, it's hard to imagine he's going to be better as a governor. But for right now, I don't have a place to put him in a fleet. So I guess for right now, he governs. I mean, we should at least put him over here on Zane's, like... Stuff is going to finish, he can get levels off of that. Although, he would immediately increase industry here by 8, just by being put down. Even if we spend all of his skills on fleet stuff. And then, when this finishes, he'll get a big XP boost from it. I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll put him here. We'll plan for him to be a fleet commander. So, probably... I mean, plus movement on the whole fleet is fantastic. I do like vision range and XP as well. But let's get the health, because health, 20% extra health for your whole fleet is a thing that's good now and will get even better as we go on. Extra shield capacity. It is worth noting, he is probably a political leader. He's the leader of the religious party. So this actually, I think, will only be active if the religious party is currently in the government, which I guess is not super likely to happen. This is pretty crummy. So you know what? I'm going to grab this and both points of this anyway. So he's actually almost up at the really good Guardian skills. Yeah, just sit here and provide a small amount of benefit to us. And remember, it's not actually just one one industry per citizen, because all of our multipliers. It's actually even more effective than that. So we're content here. If I cut the policy, we'd go up to 60%, which I believe is still content. So I suppose we can keep it running for now. Cram Exam Act. And we're almost ready to, like, really go to war. You know, we don't have the ships. But that aside, we're almost ready to really go to war. Question is just, will we actually do it? I think probably. There's a cool version of this where you play peaceful cravers and you kind of like subvert a bunch of their mechanics. And maybe we'll try that at some point, but for now, something straightforward is also good. Oh, hey, look. This thing's happening. So, I like this a lot. For the extra points of population that we can put to very, very hard labor. Just a random pirate ship out here. I don't think I care about that. Let's explore over this way. I was thinking about just running over and killing it because we can, because their scavengers are pretty good at fighting for scouts. But yeah, it's not important. That is not important enough to be worth doing. Alright, so we've moved up a tier in the military tree. Yep. Just barely. Okay, we'll get it next turn. Got some Harishims. All of a sudden, Zane's is going to be very well populated. So you're just waiting here. I wonder how well defended... Only 40 infantry power, huh? We could probably take this by force. Yeah, I think we're going to be taking some stuff by force. So, do we want to do any more research up here? We got the things we really need. Chitinous alloys will give us a ton of command points. And extra manpower deployment limit is pretty good. Makes it a lot easier to take planets. That'd be 6 turns. You don't have anything else super pressing. I guess we actually totally have an antimatter source. Should probably grab extreme atmospherics. This will allow us to colonize the gas planets, which means that we will be able to colonize everything, at least until the next election. But honestly, do I want to grab neurorobotics first? It's going to take a while before we're actually able to get the adamantium. And predictive logistics is pretty great. No, let's start bringing in the resources. We've got a pretty narrow focus here, I feel like, but also it's good. I think the things I'm trying to focus on here are things that need to be focused on. Okay, obviously, this is going to go all right for us. And what do we get? 20 Hyperium. Not really fantastic. Actually, pretty bummed about that. I didn't end up picking up the ability to do industry specialization. That's a shame. So now we can move some of our people over to here. I mean, Zane's 3 is just a better planet all the way around. Alright, let's grab our Cerebral Reality. That's a nice cheap boost in resources. This is all of a sudden a lot more compelling. Although obviously this is pretty good on Zane's 3. I'm gonna... yeah, we'll focus on Zane's 3 for now. Oh hey, the Galactic Census is coming up. In the next 20 turns, possess 2 ships of 603 offensive power. This is kind of awkward, because it's basing... the way a lot of these work is they find out what number of whatever it is that they are basing the quest on. They figure out what number you have, and then they give you a number that's like 10 or 15% higher. This is getting kind of screwed up for us because we have a medium ship that we did not earn. So this is actually kind of a tough goal. This is something we could do very easily, and this is something we could do very easily. We don't really need a lot of Hyperium. I think I'd rather have the dust. So yeah, get up to 263 industry in one of your systems. That's a number that we can't be very far away from. Yeah. Yeah, we got it under control. It will happen. Let's see, we have 9 turns to have another Craverborn in Virac. I'm not even going to look at that. I'm sure it's underway. And let's put down here. So do I want to start on the huge desert world and move over to Virgo 2? Probably not. We probably want to go straight to it. There's no food on this planet. But there's only one food on this planet. It's not like it's going to cause the colony to develop any faster, really. Okay, we definitely should spend some resources on this. Probably not this one, though. This will make the first food ship that arrives from Virac almost finish the colony by itself. What if we took the ships from Zane's instead? They're not that much worse, and they're going to arrive a lot faster. So let's double those. I'm not going to spend the dust here, because the amount of food that Virgo's creating is going to be irrelevant to the settle time. It's going to be when the second ship arrives from Zane's, no matter how we slice it here. And is Zane's actually negative from that? They are, but not hugely so. Probably not enough that it will matter. Yeah, they look weak. We should take advantage. Okay, we're going to completely refill the manpower of the fleet in a single turn, and then we're headed over to Aquarius, probably. Gain ourselves another colony. Now, our approval level is still okay. We don't need to cancel that law yet. Yeah, I think we're working on important stuff here. Once Virac finishes this wonder, we'll turn our eyes to warships. And actually, once we have extreme atmospherics, we might want to double back and get, like, oh yeah, like the ability to build warships. In fact, that's really important. Get that going. Well, let's see. Give me 3 turns. You know, I probably wouldn't build any ships any faster anyway. Let's go ahead and finish extreme atmospherics. Well, no, we're going to finish the, yeah, we're going to want to have the ability to build stuff in 3 turns, not in 4 turns. So we do have to do it in this order. We've encountered some Diuvians. Well, for the moment, we can communicate with them, except we don't have the tech, and also we don't have any influence. So never mind. Hopefully they won't attack our ship when it arrives. We can search their curiosities for them. Might be able to get a little bit of friendship going. And I mean, we need to move this faction quest along, too. It's not urgent. Alright, so we'll have the population growth to finish the quest in 2 turns here. This actually took a lot longer for the AI to do than I was thinking it would. We might well have been able to do that. In fact, we were pretty close. If I had realized it was still up for grabs, we probably could have gotten it, although also it's not like, it's not awesome. Costs 100 influence to declare war. Or we could wait until we have the militarists back in charge, which might well happen, actually. Alright, militarist support is not gone, but it's also not, it's not huge. I was just thinking, since we conducted 2 successful raids on pirate territory here. You know what, let's pull up and try to dash their fleet, at least. Am I allowed to just attack their fleet? Okay, yeah. We can attack the fleet, we just can't attack the planet. Well, let's be rid of them. I'm assuming they're just bullet weapons and... oh, energy shields. How unfortunate for them. This intruder is very good. Really nice to get a free medium ship right at the beginning of the game. Life form, subterranean. Let's check these 2 first. Okay, nothing really great there. Two turns off of that wonder. I think we're going to get it. I hope we're going to get it. So should I cancel the green fertility bill so that we can get some influence so that we can actually declare this war? Well, if I'm going to do that, I should probably wait at the very least until we finish building the super important thing. That was an ominous sound. Ah, okay, we did it. Actually, super helpful. And 2 new ships spawned instantly. Well, let's get rid of those 2. We could be watching those battles, I suppose, but I didn't think it was terribly important. Given that, you know, it's an obvious blowout. So what is the free technology we just got? No, I got that manually. I had this. Did I have baryonic shielding and PEV-scale accelerators? I think so. I wish it would tell you what free tech you get when you get a free tech. It kind of doesn't look like I got anything. Did it? Oh, this. We got ubiquitous surveillance. Well, that's a shame. That's not a very good one. Alright, that quest is complete, and even more population for Zanes. All of a sudden, this place is bumping. That's pretty alright, too. We should probably move some of the population off of Zanes. So if I do it like this, we're at least content. Yeah, if we put all the cravers together, we can make things okay. Probably what we need to stick to for now. But I guess if we want all the cravers together, hold on. All the cravers should be over here. Because this is a slightly better planet overall. And then we just move some of the minor faction population off. Yeah, that'll be a good way to handle that. Do we want to be doubling... I guess we want it to be a unit of Horatio population that's getting its resource output doubled, though. Because they're producing 6 food this way, whereas this thing would only be producing 2 since it's not a sterile world. Okay. And we have the influence necessary to go ahead and declare this war. Yeah, this should be quick. So just bomb the crap out of them. Yep. Next turn we have a winner. We're going to have to do something about the rising levels of disapproval all throughout our systems, though. This is probably a good time to cancel the cancel that law. It got us back up to content. We're going to be producing a little bit less science, but more of everything else. Except in industry, obviously. Well, let's go have a look around. There are some curiosities that we have uncovered. We also haven't actually seen what's at the end of this star lane, but I want to see what's on Columba, just in case it turns out to be valuable strategics. Alright, yeah. Things are unfolding here. We got our wonder, of course. We got our new system, which is nice. Unfortunately, we killed 2 points of population over those 2 turns of attacking, so we got a new system that only has 1 unit of population in it. Pretty non-ideal. How much... Okay, we have enough red saying that we can do this and then do an immediate level 2 modernization in VIRGO as soon as it finishes. I'm going to send a unit of Craver population over there. Maybe 2 units of Craver population? See, our food is showing pretty negative, but remember, this is because we're sending a lot of food to that outpost. Yeah, let's send a couple units of Craver population to the new system. Just to help that poor confused Harisham figure out how hard he should be working. Looks like we're getting our refill instantly. So yeah, we have 0% system ownership, and the system's unhappy, but we're immediately getting manpower refill from it. I still don't really understand how the manpower refilling mechanic works on conquered systems. But let's go ahead and go back to full, and then we'll head out and hit Elma. And we need to start thinking about ship production. This would only be 20 industry here, but you know what? 20 industry is not that bad. Probably worth having. Because this is immediately going to be only 15. Yeah, okay. It's better to build Xeno-industrial infrastructure first. We could shift more population over to Zanes 3, or Zanes 2, but Zanes 3 does have very slightly better yields. I guess... No, I'm gonna just do it this way.
The families will do what is best.
Okay. They're talking about being sneaky. I mean, I don't think they quite understand what is at stake here. They're like, we took a thing before you could take the thing, and then we hired pirates to kill your world. They're gonna have a very different understanding of what double crossing is in, I don't know, 15 turns or so. So in my experience, it's always best to take study here. You study the weird trap, and you learn some things from it. It gives you powerful, useful bonuses. So it kind of looks like their entire empire is right here. I mean, it's still early in the game. I guess they haven't really had time to fan out yet. That's not great for them. They're going to find that that is not great for them. Managing a population of Cravers is no easy feat. Craver bishops, the mentally advanced leaders of Craver society, orchestrate their hive mates through feeding, hatching, and the rearing of young. Careful balance must always be kept so that the swarm does not grow out of control. Around this time every year, adolescent Cravers go through a mutation, determining their future roles in Craver society. One of your Craver bishops has just presented you with a host of newly mutated soldier-class drones. Perhaps you could put the eager youngsters to use somewhere. Yeah, I think we could. I think I have some ideas. So if we build some attacker ships in the Virax system, we'll get some... Yeah. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about building some attacker ships. So we have 2 command points. No, never mind. We have 6 command points left in this fleet. That's right. I got some upgrades. Well, we could certainly build a lot of slicers. We probably want to do some split between these two. Right? Because you can build some interesting... put some interesting modules on those support class ships. So hold on. We'll deal with that in a second here. We're going to have to rebuild our stuff. Actually, I guess we don't really have a lot else to do. We did pick up a new faction trait from taking over those Harishams. Food consumption is down on our systems. And remember, because the amount of food that is consumed by population scales up geometrically as you get more population, this will actually have a greater effect on larger systems. Which is cool. Alright, I guess we don't really have anything else to do other than build ships. So, let's build some ships. We have... Are these modules all single purpose? Okay, yeah. All those slots have to be the thing they are. So we do have access to an extra support slot. I probably just want it to be A2S slugs. The thing is, these ships are not going to be great. Hold on, what do our attacker ships look like in terms of modules? See, 5 slots, 2 of which can be support. So, if we refit these things like this, there's not really a lot of reason to bring support ships as well. Yeah, I think we're going to do this. We have 43 DPS, slug modules, 39 base DPS, and then they're getting a boost from the offensive trait here. So 39 base DPS from those, 61 from torpedoes. Of course, torpedoes are counterable, but still powerful. We could go to 20 DPS plasma beams. No, I think we want to stick with our projectile damage. So, bullets in general are less counterable, but man, torpedoes sure are powerful. Let's go for a little bit of shock and awe, huh? And I don't really know what defensive module to pick because I don't think we've seen a Lumeris warship yet. So I'm just going to build a whole bunch of these. Honestly, 7 of them, right? We'll just fill the fleet. So wait, what's the movement on those is 6. Okay, we do have these nice fast ships. We should refit this while I'm thinking about it before I forget. So first of all, these are old, out-of-date weapon modules. So we could put a probe module in this spot for dealing with the actual, dealing with that quest. We'll worry about that eventually. For right now, I want to run this. All right. The other defensive slot is also single purpose. I'm gonna balance his defenses because we don't yet know what we're up against. That was a fairly expensive redesign, and we can't mess with the design of the intruder yet, unfortunately, because we don't have that hull design ourselves. No way to refit a ship that we couldn't build. Seems a little strange, but, you know, game mechanics is what it is. So, yeah, we're building ships in Virac. Something tells me we're going to be seeing some militarists in the Senate. Maybe not on this, this next election, because we're building the ships pretty late, and we're not going to be using them to kill player stuff until after the election. But it's coming. It'll be soon. So, plus 15. Alright, science pays, man. Secret of the sophisticated magnetics and guidance systems will prove worthwhile in our industries. Where are we at on population? So we just hit 10 cravers, which means that we now have the plus militarist political ideology bonus. We should probably just go ahead and double these. I was talking about trying to make sure that we could like have a bunch of minor population and balance things out. But maybe we're just going to do this tearing through space, constantly moving to new planets thing. A swarm of interstellar locusts. And we're certainly not using the mushrooms for anything else. Okay, so it actually doesn't boost either of these things. It just gives all of your cravers 2 of every resource except influence. Honestly, that's a pretty good boost. I can see why it would why it wouldn't just double your existing bonuses, because those are pretty powerful. Alright, so we're going to hang out here. We're still repairing. Actually, maybe I should... Let's hang out here so we can catch pirates coming from Elma towards Zane's. It does have a pirate mark on it, after all. And this will also help keep pirates from destroying our food ships as they try to make Virgo into a proper colony. So we're going to have quite a few A2S modules. Yep, and here they come. As if on cue. And hey look, we did the thing. Extra Hyperium for all of the engines that we're building in our ships. We've got extreme atmospherics, so we now have proper resource income. And this would probably be the time to pursue the development of the medium designs. Maybe more weapons. I think we should be okay on weapons. Let's pursue bigger ships. I just need one more tech. Adaptive bureaucracies will let us colonize barren worlds. And we have seen a couple. The other option is botanical scanning, which is fine. Fine, but not great, I would say. I'm going to go ahead and grab this too, because infinite supermarkets is actually a pretty useful building. And if we're going to grab it, we may as well grab it before grabbing the other thing. Give ourselves the maximum possible science discount. Life form, ruins, atmospheric. Okay. So we found ourselves a unit of Haroshims. Man, there are really not a lot of different types of people living out in this part of the galaxy. We've found many units of population. They're just all the same populations. Okay. Explore some curiosities here, pay some titanium, which we can totally afford to do. And we totally will, you know, once we actually have the probes. I wish you could set, like, rally points to have standing orders for any ship produced on this system to head to a VIRGO. Alright, we're starting to deplete our manpower here. Now, we're running a lot of food generation, so in theory, we should be able to fix that pretty quickly. Once we stop building ships, it'll refill quickly. Oh, hey, cool. Plus 15% science output. We definitely want to do system improvement right away. Yeah, we might want to chain gang a little bit. It's not totally ideal, but the combination of having the A2S slugs and having manpower makes it really easy to blitz a couple of planets down, or a couple of systems, rather. So do I just want to chain gang off? I'm not really sure, like I said before, how this works. If it will prefer... Oh no, convert one Craver population point into 300 manpower. I was about to say whether it will maybe prefer minor factions or something. But... yeah. I'll do that. I'm willing to sacrifice a Craver here, I think. Look at how happy the people are at the very mention of the idea that we might pull some Cravers off of the system and away toward the war. They're going to declare this a national holiday, a system-wide holiday. Okay. New resources, not bad. This is a pretty good Arctic world, actually. As far as Arctic worlds go. That is a single small pirate ship. Yeah, we can just hang out here and kill it. So I do want to search those quest curiosities. But this thing has 120 soldiers. We're gonna need some of these ships that are coming up. Let's see, this is not going to be useful here. They've actually built a lot of the basic structures already, which I do appreciate. Yeah, we'll finish that and then we'll make some more decisions afterward. Well, here's some annoying pirates. Coming in from over here, I guess. Alright, we'll handle that. This ship that's headed toward VIRGO can I'm sure, guard VIRGO against the incursion of single pirate vessels until our other ships return. Speaking of VIRGO, now that it suddenly has a ton of food, man... Early Red Sang is powerful. Let's get this and this. Really, really get growth going. And... I think I probably want to go for the big attack ship. over the big support ship, even though this will let us redesign our current support ship. The big attack ships are just way better. No, it's going to be a little while before we can build either of them. Getting the ability to redesign our current invader is probably smart. Okay, well, survey 100% of our voting citizens would like to elect the militarist party. No big shock there, I guess. Yeah, you know, the Spoils of War Act is powerful. So we've lost the ability to put down colonies on any kind of planet. But it doesn't affect any stuff we've already colonized. I don't know if I would have attacked in this situation, but you know, pirates are crazy. Oh, I should be fighting at long range now. That's right, I redesigned my ships. Although the intruder still fights best at close. And is still doing the majority of the lifting. Alright, Kren Salutis is going to give us 10% bonus to that, all of that sweet, sweet missile damage that we're doing now. Probably going to have to leave somebody behind to guard Zanes, I guess. How many more turns until we're done here? 3 turns until we're all produced. And then like 6 turns after that until everybody's actually on VIRGO. We may not want to wait that long. I might head out before we're all assembled. Because it's also going to be a little bit of a trip to Timos. And I think Timos is the one we want to take over to use as our forward staging ground rather than Kurha, since it has population already. Yeah, we want to engage in as few rounds of invasion as possible because we want to limit their population loss. We want all these units of population here. So we want to make sure that we siege it and that we have a reasonable amount of manpower actually on our fleets. Alright, so we're about to chain gang. That's going to solve some of that problem. We're about to have a birth here, but it's Harishams. I'm a little worried we're actually going to run out of Cravers on Zanes. VIRGO only has Cravers, so I guess it could send some over. Oh, and we have another lost lot here. So we don't want to run this right now. I think I can definitely afford to run this. Our dust isn't super important to us, and also we have a reasonable amount. I probably don't want to reactivate Cram Exam Act. Yeah, the capital needs a little bit of love. We had to redesign things a little bit here. Let's move you over to there. That immediately jumps us up to content. We could fiddle with this a little bit. Yeah, alright. I don't want to work anybody else on a slave planet because approval is going to drop through the floor. But this is not a bad start. Okay, that's actually pretty fortunate. Ooh, Remnant. I like these guys a lot. Basically, I like any minor faction. It's going to give us more industry. Alright, let's go see what's going on over on Tylus. And I think that was the last thing we needed to do for this turn. Oh, right. We have quest curiosities to explore. Okay, that's fine, I guess. We're actually producing quite a bit of influence now that we're not running a real law. We will be kicking in the Spoils of War Act eventually. I don't need to do it right this second. I guess we could lower fleet costs. You know what? We don't have the influence to keep Spoils of War running for very long, so actually I don't want to run anything that costs influence right now, because I want to be banking influence toward being able to keep this up for a few turns. And we probably need to, after picking up split-second ablatives, maybe we should try to get something that boosts our influence output. Because I really do want to be able to run that Spoils of War Act. It's a very, very powerful law. Alright, I think that is going to do it, though. You have orders, don't you? Yeah, okay. Everybody get over here. Yep, alright. That is going to do it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I think we're in a really good position here. Come back next time. I think we're just going to wipe the Lumeris off the face of the galaxy. Honestly, I think it'll go down that quickly. And we'll see you then.